Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about why Kawaki has a huge problem when it comes to his quest to kill Boruto and why he's overlooked a key aspect of what is going to be his downfall when it comes to trying to take down Boruto. That's why in today's newest Naruto Explain video, I wanted to take the time to explain to you guys why I think Kawaki is overlooking his biggest problem when it comes to trying to kill Boruto. As we all know, Kawaki's eyes, they all lit up when he came across the conclusion that Boruto, despite him getting so powerful that just in his base he was enough to knock the sonic rings out of Kawaki and make him go into his coma seal in order to continue fighting, Boruto appeared to be giving off the signs that he cannot control the power of his coma seal, which is why he ran off and he hid in the process. Before Kawaki was called to go off to battle with Jura because he needed to provide Himawari backup, you could tell Kawaki was looking for him. However, Kawaki isn't the type to just forget something like that, and doubly so if he believes it gives him advantage over someone as strong as Boruto in combat. However, that's where I do believe we are watching Kawaki make his most dangerous mistake, which is he's going to take away from all of this that he needs to lean even heavier into utilizing the power of karma and his ninja tools in order to defeat Boruto. In hindsight, it is something that makes complete sense because we all saw it in that first chapter. Kawaki tells Boruto that the age of the shinobi, it is over, and Boruto replies that even still, he's still a shinobi, and Boruto charges forward to battle Kawaki, and Boruto has his coma still activated. Longtime viewers know what I've said, that I believe when it comes to that scene being less Boruto activating his coma and more so that his coma was resonating with Kawaki's coma, which was already active in the manga at that point, and he was just accepting the fate that he needed to use that power. But there is a difference between how that Boruto reacted to his karma spreading and how this Boruto is reacting to his karma spreading. This Boruto is clearly scared of what's happening, and we see it in the manga that he is struggling to suppress that power from going too far. He's fighting it, and it's taking a lot of mental energy to do so. Yin energy, which again, longtime viewers of the channel know, I've always said I believe that yin chakra is tied to karma. And while Boruto right now might be in trouble, he won't stay there forever, and that's going to be Kawaki's downfall starting. From a logical perspective, and Kawaki, when he isn't being emotional, he is very logical. He is attempting to do the right thing by making the right move here, which is to take a strength that you have, which is a weakness of your enemy, and you exploit it. As the 48 laws of power talks about in law number 31, get others to play with the cards that you deal. This is Kawaki taking control of the options on the battlefield. Base to base, a fight with Boruto, it's not something Kawaki can win. We've already seen that. However, if it comes down to using karma, that initially might seem like a disadvantage. However, it isn't a disadvantage when you sit down and you think about it, but on the surface level, you're probably inclined to think and say, that just makes matters worse. What's this dude waffling about? After all, if Kawaki's already weaker in the base than Boruto, say Boruto's a 10 and Kawaki's a 7, and the karma amps both of them up by 3 points. Again, this is hypothetical. Say Kawaki's karma amps him up by 4 points. He's still weaker than Boruto. So what's the point? That might lead to you being inclined to say that, hey, he's at the disadvantage, but this is where controlling the options comes into play. Kawaki has had more experience using the karma than Boruto. He's not afraid of that power. If anything, he embraces that power, the power of the karma, because it is integral to his identity as a fighter. Boruto getting the boost that large doesn't mean anything if he's misusing it, just as Code explained to him in part 1 of the story, where he was casually slapping Boruto around without much effort. If Boruto is still carrying that trauma from using the karma seal and he hasn't learned to fully utilize that power as it's being implied, then yes, it makes sense to exploit that advantage and turn it into a battle of karma itself, because you have the higher percentage at winning. As the law says, by limiting the options of your enemy to only those that work in your favor, you have successfully guaranteed your success in battle. However, that's where the mistake fake lies, and it goes to what the 48 laws of power warns in the same law that we just referenced. So for those of you guys who have not read the book, each of the 48 laws of power, it gives you a warning in the form of the reversal. The reversal of this law is that when controlling the options, you're supposed to be hiding your intention as the person that is pulling the strings and the person that is in power. Think of it the way that Zetsu was able to fool Madara and Obito. They never saw him coming or even realized that he was the one handing out the cards that they were playing. They thought they're in control the entire time. When you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar, you run the risk of your hand being stuck and it limiting your own options. When you are trying to entrap your enemy, now your enemy is wiser to your intentions. It's at that point you make yourself open to your enemy gaining freedom of your plan and turning the tables on you. The smart person in that scenario doesn't react with aggression, but instead they use the surrender tactic of another 48 laws of power to let the enemy think that they have a firm grip on the upper hand before you gather the information and regain control of the options in the long run. Kawaki right now is too blinded by his need to destroy Boruto, his need to see through this long road that he's already walked himself down, where he has framed Boruto for Naruto's murder, and he knows that he's going to have a very pissed off Naruto ready to shove a Rasengan in his face when he's unsealed and he's learned that Kawaki killed his son and made his life a living hell for him before doing so. He's come too far to not see his plan through, and it's making him desperate. And desperate people, they don't see the options they still have on the table because they're too locked in on what they want for an outcome. Boruto is the second coming of Minato, and he isn't the type to sit by idly with a glaring weakness like being unable to control the karma. It's something that he's going to have to address, but that's the beauty of why Kawaki is destined for failure when it comes to battle with Boruto. Whereas Kawaki leans heavily into the whole he has to rely on karma for power and rely on ninja tech for power. He sees this the fastest path possible for power. He's being ridden as making some mistakes that Boruto did early on in the Boruto story when Boruto was still known as Boruto Uzumaki, just as Kawaki is currently known as Kawaki Uzumaki. He might be pretending to be Naruto's child, but he's making the mistake that Naruto's real child made. But unlike Boruto, Kawaki has nobody there to show him how to rise above those mistakes. And the people that are there, people like Sarada, he will not listen to. Boruto, as Masashi Kishimoto would tell us in his 2016 interview in December 2016 for Jump Festa 2017, Boruto is someone who, unlike Naruto, it's not that he doesn't have to work hard like fans are saying, but more so that he's so talented he doesn't have to work as hard. Whereas Naruto needed to stumble and bumble his way, going all the way to Z by going letter by letter when saying the alphabet, sounding them out, using sing-song voices to get through the alphabet, and sometimes having to restart the melody all the way from the beginning just to get past the letter M. Boruto is someone who knows all of his ABCs in full, and if you get on his nerves, he will tell you that the first letter is A, the last letter is Z, and that there's 24 letters in between the two because he's naturally sarcastic. And if you continue to annoy him, he will say the alphabet backwards in a different language just to flex on you. It's as Kishimoto said, Boruto, by being so talented, he's able to cut out all the steps and he's able to find all the shortcuts, which leads to him lacking in the fundamentals, which is why Sasuke tells him, before I train you seriously, you need to go back and relearn all of the basics of lightning release, because Boruto was just naturally gifted at what he was doing, but he didn't understand how he did what he did. Classic example, Boruto was learning how to do wind release in the anime, practicing outside the academy, and he was not using the proper wind release change in chakra nature training drills. He was just mimicking what he saw Mitsuki do, which is why Naruto never believed him in the anime when Boruto said that he was trying to learn wind release. It's why Kakashi tells Boruto in the anime, hey, that's a nice Rasengan you got right there, but dude, I don't even need the Sharingan to see that your problem is in terms of why your Rasengan isn't strong despite it having a change in chakra nature added to it, which that should make it stronger than a standard Rasengan, but that shit right there, that is a puny Rasengan. And it was because Boruto, despite going through all the steps to learn how to do the jutsu, which kudos to Konohamaru for making him go step by step, he bum rushed all the way through it and didn't fully grasp how he did what he did, only that he was managing to do it. And as Sasuke said, Boruto subconsciously managed to add a change in chakra nature to the Rasengan. Boruto didn't realize what it was he did, and so Kakashi, being the genius that he is, and much to the dismay of Boruto, made Boruto spend the whole day going back over every step of the Rasengan with the corrections that need to be made, and to keep working with them before he moved to adding a change in wind release chakra nature to his Rasengan, which then, upon seeing how quickly Boruto made the adjustments under Kakashi, it made Kakashi say this boy's the second coming of Minato. With someone like that, who just got another year training under Sasuke and showed that he still had the issue of learning jutsu super fast but skipping over the basics, Boruto's last words from Sasuke were, you guessed it, hey Boruto, go back, relearn the basics, and continue refining jutsu that Sasuke taught you, and when you do that, you will be unstoppable. That statement was about Boruto's ninjutsu, but it also extends to him using karma as well. Allow me to explain. He is eventually going to get full control over karma, and Kawaki trying to force his hand when they inevitably fight in the ruins of Konoha is going to backfire, because he's going to think Boruto's still that kid who cannot control his karma. Boruto understands the very lesson that Naruto and Sasuke tried to teach him, or rather I think he's in the process of understanding it. Ninja tech, they are tools that a shinobi can use. Karma, in its own way, is a type of ninja tech, a type of ninja tool that can be wielded in battle, but it should not replace your own skill set as a shinobi. Right now, Boruto's afraid to use that weapon, but he won't always be afraid, and he has too high of an aptitude for learning things at a very fast rate. When everything clicks for Boruto, he's going to be battling Kawaki as someone in full control over his karma and the Otsutsuki powers, while being able to use the knowledge of his ninjutsu training, and he's going to be someone unlike anything Kawaki has ever prepared for. A perfect hybrid, the very thing that Naruto is trying to shape Kawaki into to make him see his own potential. When Kawaki would be trained by Naruto and he would say, hey, use your chakra, not your ninja tech, and then Kawaki would escalate in frustration and use karma and ninja tech together in defiance against Naruto. If you're Kawaki, you cannot win a battle against someone like that. And we saw glimpses of what Boruto will be, just in how easily Momoshiki was able to blend aspects of ninjutsu into Otsutsuki fighting style when he fought using Boruto's body. Kawaki might not realize it, but seeing Boruto and his sphere of karma, it wasn't the opening that he thought. It was just a warning for the things to come. If he's not as careful as you are by clicking here on the left for my new Kryptonian Saiyan video, or clicking here on the right for this video that YouTube says is best suited from the channel for you to watch.